Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about the arterial supply of hand. See, in the hand, this surface is known as palmar surface and this surface is known as dorsal surface. The hand is very rich in blood supply. The hand is supplied majorly by two arteries, the radial artery and ulnar artery. So think this red color is radial artery and green as a ulnar artery. Before entering into the hand, the radial artery gives a branch. This branch supplies the carpal bones which is present in the wrist. So this branch is known as palmar carpal branch of radial artery because this is a palmar surface. So palmar carpal branch of radial artery. And then this ulnar artery also gives another branch, palmar carpal branch of ulnar artery. So in here, these two arteries makes anastomosis and joins with each other. They form a network. This network is known as palmar carpal network. After forming the network, the radial artery goes posteriorly on the dorsal surface. It goes like this. It forms a bend and goes to the dorsal surface of the hand. Now leave the radial artery. Now let's see the ulnar artery. This ulnar artery enters into the hand in the palmar surface and then it forms a arch, a slightly bend. So it forms an arch. From this arch, it gives three branches. 1, 2, 3. So each three branches again divides into two branches. This divide into 1, 2, 1, 2. So each these artery divide into two arteries. This artery is known as common palmar metacarpal arteries because it is common for two fingers. See, one artery is dividing and supplying for two fingers, so it is a common and it is present in the bone which is known as metacarpal bone and the palmar surface. So common metacarpal digital arteries. And we have another one more artery which doesn't divide into any branches, which directly supplies the little finger. So it is not known as common, it is a digital artery, palmar digital artery. Now, this radial artery, before going posteriorly, it gives a branch. That branch joins with the ulnar branch. So the network is completed. The arch is completed. This arch is known as superficial palmar arch. See, the superficial arch is formed by 80% by ulnar artery, 80% by ulnar artery and only 20% by the radial artery. Now let's leave the palmar surface and let's go to the dorsal surface. See, this artery, radial artery enters in the dorsal surface. After reaching here, it makes a hole. It makes a hole here and pierces from the dorsal side and again enters into the ventral side. It will pierce here and enters from this side. So this artery, before piercing, it gives a branch. Before piercing here, it gives a branch. This branch is known as princeps dorsal metacarpal artery. Princeps means first. It's also known as first dorsal metacarpal artery because it's the dorsal surface. And what bone is there? Metacarpal bones. So first dorsal metacarpal arteries. The first is also known as princeps in Latin. So princeps dorsal metacarpal artery. This artery divides into 3 branches. 2 for the dorsal surface of thumb and 1 for the dorsal surface of the index finger. So it gives 3. After giving the branches, it pierces and enters into the palmar surface. In the palmar surface, it gives another branch. That branch is princeps pollicis. Princeps pollicis artery, because pollicis means thumb, princeps means first. It also again divides into 3 branches. 2 for thumb and 1 for the index finger. So after giving these 3 branches, it forms another network, another arch like this. This arch is joined with a branch from ulnar artery like this. So this second arch is known as deep arch. Just see, the superficial arch is formed by 80% by ulnar artery and 20% by the radial artery, and this deep arch is formed by 80% by radial artery and only 20% by the ulnar artery. After forming the deep arch, from the deep arch it gives 3 branches like this. It joins with this common digital arteries and 1 more artery. So totally 4 arteries. These arteries known as palmar metacarpal arteries. This artery from deep to superficial, they are communicating. So these 4 arteries are known as palmar metacarpal arteries. Palmar surface, metacarpal bone, so that's why it is known as palmar metacarpal arteries. Clear? This is the palmar surface. Each finger has applied by 2 arteries in palmar surface. Now let's go to the dorsal surface. In here we have palmar carpal branch of radial artery and palmar carpal branch of ulnar artery. Same. From the radial artery it gives another branch, dorsal carpal branch of radial artery, because it's also supplying the carpal bones on the dorsal side, and in ulnar artery also gives another branch like here in dorsal side, dorsal carpal branch of ulnar artery. So these 2 arteries same as the palmar surface. In here these 2 forms the network. From that network, this is common dorsal carpal network. From the dorsal carpal network, it gives branches, 3 branches, 3 common branches. 1, 2, 3. Dorsal common metacarpal arteries. These 3 are, because it is going to divide. See, these 3 common dorsal metacarpal arteries, because it is common for 2 fingers. This artery divide and supplying the 2 arteries, and we have a dorsal digital artery. This is not common, this is just dorsal digital artery, because it is going to supply only for the one side of finger. So there is no any other branch from this artery. So this is dorsal digital arteries, but these arteries are going to supply for 2 fingers. So they are common. So in the dorsal side also each finger is supplied by 2 arteries. So the entirely our hand is supplied by, each finger supplied by 4 arteries, 2 on carpal, 2 on palmar surface and 2 on dorsal surface. See, each and every finger is supplied by 2 on palmar surface and 2 on dorsal surface. So totally 4 arteries. Clear? This is all about the arterial supply of hand. Thank you.